Okay, let's see what we can do with this one. This will be an interesting one. I think most people could relate to this. Let's see if we can make it look any good. Gonna make this into something interesting. Okay, what have we got? We got here, it is, we'll just show it to you as a whole. Open it up. We've got here a Chinese newspaper, and strangely enough, they've got a Quilton toilet paper ad in amongst all their stuff. So we're interested in that Quilton ad, so I'll just bring it closer. So we're interested in that ad for Quilton, and Quilton is very big because, especially when we had I think it would have been referred to as a partial lockdown of Sydney, or not just Sydney, of Australia. I know in Sydney people were buying this shit by the truckload, and it was usually Quilton that was being sold at the supermarkets and where else, and we had a problem with the supply of toilet paper, and I remember people, person after person, coming out with a huge slab of Quilton or slabs of Quilton, and basically you weren't, after a while you were only allowed one Quilton, so I think most people were walking out with one huge slab of Quilton, and Quilton just seemed to be selling off the shelves like hotcakes. Now that looks shit. We just got the corner there. But yeah, they were just selling like fuck, like buggery, these Quilton toilet papers. That didn't work out very well. So I'm just going to put it there and try that again. I'm going to get dirty fingers from this. I hate touching paper, newsprint stuff. It's really yucky to my feeling. It feels yucky and it leaves horrible marks all over my fingers. I don't like it. And again, we've just got the side of it. We're not doing very well at the moment, so I'm just gonna perhaps do a still picture and then enlarge it, then move it. So I'm just going to put that there, and I'm just going to drop the dock feeder on it. But yeah, they were just selling like fuck. There was like heaps of them just going out the door in the supermarket. I don't like this sort of toilet paper. It takes up too much space. It's difficult to transport, and it doesn't, and the rolls don't last. Now that looks interesting. And the rolls don't typically last. You know, they don't last. I tried some sorbent, but the sorbent, yeah, it was all right. I do still now, I've gone back to what's called Delsey rolls, the little single rolls that you get instead of the multi-packs like the ones that I just described. So I'm just going to push that into the A6 area. But I'm just not keen on buying those big bulk packs. I like to buy single rolls, and Delsey's good for that. Sure, Delsey isn't as soft and it's really thin, but it actually does last longer, and it probably works out a bit cheaper than the big slabs of toilet roll that you get, like Quilton. I know that sorbent was very expensive, and I can't afford sorbent, so that looks really quite interesting. Wondering if we're gonna do anything to it. It looks like it's nicely framed, almost. I'm wondering if I could just move it up a bit and maybe enlarge it a bit more on the legs. But yeah, I just don't tend to like these big packets of rolls. They just don't appeal to me. I'd rather just buy a single roll and that's it, and not have to worry about having to. I can just put the single roll in my bag and that's it. I don't need to have to carry it separately. It just goes into my backpack and that's it. That's what I like. And Delsey's also got no plastic. It's all recycled paper, from the toilet paper to the core and the wrapper. It's all recycled paper, which is really nice, which is good for our planet, folks. Now that looks better. We just have to enlarge it a bit on the the horizontal this time once again. But yeah, I just don't like all this fancy plasticky shit. Okay, out it comes. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Looks like it cut a little bit too much off, but I'm thinking it might be. Actually, no, it's not that much. So that's our first one. That's this one here. Unfortunately, the purple isn't as strong as I was hoping it would be. But we're going to just, wondering where the centre of the job is going to be. Going to make it there. Oh yeah, that's just the bottom, so that's good enough. We're not going to get too fussy. But yeah, this was a big issue in the coronavirus pandemic, was the supplies of toilet paper. And there was a bit of a rush for a couple of weeks ago because of what happened in Victoria recently with their second wave of coronavirus. If you've heard this shit in the news, no doubt you probably have. I don't know when my stuff is going to make news, because I'm trying to get in touch with a loved one that I lost many years ago, and the only way I'm going to get in touch would be through airing my videos of me making art with a photocopier. And I'm really concerned, I'm really lonely, and I need to find this person that I lost. I know his name is Luigi, and I love him and I miss him, and it's really hard trying to live without him, and I'm trying to get my stuff on television to do that. And when the coronavirus issue is running hot, then I don't get a chance. We've also had some clusters breaking out in somewhere out west in Sydney. I think it was in Casula, where there was this motel that had heaps of coronavirus cases. I think it's called the Southern Cross Hotel, if I'm correct. And that's a real horrible thing to have happen. But we don't have a vaccine yet, and I don't think it's till we get a vaccine that we're going to see the end of this fuck virus. And it is a fuck, and it's caused people to go crazy and excessively buy rolls of toilet paper. I don't know why it has to be about toilet paper. What's it got to do with the fucking coronavirus, folks? Anyway, now to note, the toilet paper companies can keep up with supply, so don't bother trying to buy it in bulk. It's really silly. Anyway, that looks interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.